Yeah, when I looked at our schedule, obviously it was pretty daunting, the schedule we have. And truthfully, I kind of in my mind, and always on Monday, I tell our team just the truths of kind of how I see the games. I felt like both of these first games were 50-50 games that could go either way, that they both were quality opponents that could beat us, but also we could win the games also. And so we're fortunate to be 2-0 because we really haven't played that well, truthfully, on offense. I look at this last tape, the throws we missed, the reads we made, the mistakes we made were pretty glaring. Some of it had to do with UAB, very quality opponent, the truths of the game, special teams-wise. We created 2 explosive runs, and our punt protection was pretty good against a team that tries to heat you up. We netted 38 yards of punt, and we had a takeaway on a punt. Chris Magnuson made an outstanding effort on that play. So those were the positives. Negatives, we had a foolish penalty that looked like we haven't coached at all on how to properly make sure you down the ball inside the 5-yard line. When the guy's fair catching it, that's uncalled for, and we got to get that fixed. And we continue to miss field goals that are necessary points to win close games. So we've got to try to improve there also. And we gave up an explosive kickoff return. Defensively, we're 67% again on third down, and that was good. We got takeaways again, which was good. And I thought we adjusted to the rush attack pretty well after the first quarter and did pretty good. I thought Darrell Johnson played his best game since he's been here. It was good to see that for sure. And Mo Williams at corner I thought was gritty and played well. Good to see that also. Offensively, we averaged 4.7 yards a rush, which is pretty decent. Created 13 explosive plays, which is something we're going to have to do with this unit. We had no interceptions, which was good, but we did turn over a ball in 4-minute offense, which is just unexcusable. We can't do that. Negatives, too many third and longs. Most of it after watching film was because of us, and Caden's got a long way to go in his in just understanding progressions. And now, give him credit, he made some plays that helped us win the game. But we've got to improve at the quarterback position because I thought our pass pro was pretty good. Pockets were there, and we're panicking and starting to run around when we don't have to. But that was the truth that I shared with them this morning. The main truth is we're 2-0 on 2 games that could have gone either way, and excited to be in that position. It doesn't get any easier playing an ACC divisional champ and conference runner-up who won 11 games, I believe, last year and has most of their returners back. Coach Clausen, I've had great respect for him, the way he does things. He's a winner. And what they do offensively is a little different, that you don't see a whole lot that gives you problems, particularly when they got a trigger guy like Sam Hartman and 2 receivers like 9 and 11. Who are as good as you're going to see, and the running backs are really shifty and a veteran offensive line. So offensively, they're a problem, and their tempo and just everything about it. They're averaging a lot of points against a lot of good defenses, and so we're not going to stop them. Just got to hopefully be stingy in the red zone and make them settle for some field goals and try not to give up too many explosive plays. But they're creating those against most everybody they play, so it's going to be difficult. They've won 10 straight home games, I believe. So it's a great challenge, but great opportunity. I think our season's going to be full of that with the likes of them and BYU and Arkansas. And I mean, they're all going to be ranked in the top 15 or so, it appears, whenever the polls come out. So you're playing 3 top 20 teams for sure, and it's a great challenge. And sometimes I wish it was easier so we could rest some this week, but there'll be no rest. We got our hands full. So defensively, Brad Lambert, I've known him for a while. He's always done a good job, veteran defensive coordinator, and they're in the right spot, doing the right thing over and over again. So it's a tough challenge.
When you, at the beginning of the season, I think in camp, I think someone asked you about the identity of your team, and you said, I think one of the things is that you hoped that it would really be on the defensive side. I mean, 9 takeaways through these first 2 games. Do you feel like that's starting to play itself out?
Well, I don't think you can ever predict how the takeaways are going to turn out. One thing I do know, I felt like we have recruited. I made no secret when I came here. I wanted to recruit defensive players. I've lived this game long enough. I know at this level. I've coached at this level before, and I've coached in a league where you're probably not going to have as equal as talent as some others. And if you can recruit defensively to where they can keep you in games and you have a good system offensively, you can find a way to win football games sometimes. And so I wanted to build, our program around playing good, tough, physical defense. I think what you're seeing is we have some kids who have played a lot of snaps for us over there now. And not that we're perfect. We're not tackling well right now. We've missed like 40 tackles in 2 games. But we do have the maturity over there, and we have grit and toughness. And I think you're seeing some of that now. And hopefully that trend of us getting takeaways continues. But I think the grit will, for sure.
You have 9 takeaways, but only 10 points off those takeaways, and didn't come up with points when getting fumbles on plus side of the territory against UAB. Is that something that needs to be harped on, that you got to take advantage of this situation?
Well, I think you know the answer to that. I don't think you can harp on it. I mean, you're going to call what you're going to call. That's in the game plan, and we should have got 3 points out of the field goal, and we should make that field goal. And then we got a chop block that we had a good run on the other one we got in plus territory, and feel like you're in good shape, and we get a chop block called, and which wasn't a chop block on the film, and which that you're not going to convert on these. When you start 2nd and 25 and stuff, or 1st and 25, it's hard for us right now. We're not ready for that scenario very well. But yeah, we want to, when the break comes our way, we want to score. We haven't been very good at that this year.
You mentioned field goals. Is competition back open for that, or are you still want to see something?
Yeah, I think we're going to go one more week with Nick. Braden's not quite healthy right now. I think that's the plan right now.
Speaking of healthy, what is TJ Green's status?
He went through our workouts this morning, so it'll be a day-to-day deal. Hopefully we can get him back for Saturday. We could use him. But he's today was his first day to do something. We'll see how he feels tomorrow, then progress him into endo periods tomorrow, and then hopefully into team periods Wednesday or Thursday. That's the plan.
How did he look today coming back to practice?
Good, but we don't run around a ton on Mondays, not at least at full speed. So it's kind of hard to say.
Go online to Hank real quick. He's got one there.
Hey, Coach, good to see you.
Hey, Hank, good to see you, man. Nice forward pickup there.
Thank you, man. I have 2, kind of. You guys have had some big wins in your tenure there. Does that make playing a Power 5 team less daunting?
I hope that our kids take from our staff, and I hope I set the tone for our staff with the fact that they don't see any difference in me, whether we're playing an ACC divisional champ or UAB or Arkansas. I think they'll see the consistency in our approach that prepares us hopefully to compete against what I consider to be a superior opponent, and that we seize the opportunity as one that can be exciting. And you're not going to win all the games when you play Power 5 opponents at a Group of 5 school, but I think it's been proven on the last few weekends that it certainly is possible. And I think we've proven it's possible here a few times, and so I think that does breed some confidence that you can go in and enjoy the opportunity and kind of see where it leads you in the fourth quarter.
And we've heard all the time about coaches talking about the opportunity to play up is great for their guys because they get to play against maybe somebody that didn't recruit them or something like that. Is there a danger in playing that up because it makes it, I don't know, kind of reinforces the fact that you guys aren't as talented?
Yeah, I don't ever say it like that, and I don't ever talk about, hey, they didn't recruit you, man. I don't get into all that. I think those are mind games that have really nothing to do with us preparing properly, and I want us to prepare properly and be a confident football team no matter who we're playing. Certainly it is, we'll talk about the opportunity to compete on a stage like that. Where I think we're on ACC network, so there'll be, I believe, if I'm right, and there'll be more eyes on us for our program and a chance to show, this is our grit and toughness and how we play. I won't ever talk to our kids about, you should be upset with them because they didn't recruit you or, they're superior to you in some way. I tell them the truth. As a team, as a whole, we'll be underdogs this week, and rightfully so.
Let's go next to Essex Thayer online.
Hey, Coach, Essex Thayer from the Beacon Daily. Just wanted to know what was kind of concerning to you for the Wake Forest offense, just in terms of the RPO, the slow mesh, but also the depth at wide receiver.
Yeah, the 9 and 11 are special. I don't, they're just really, really good. And then it's just different, too. I'm really intrigued by it, truthfully, and kind of jealous that I haven't studied it more to see if it's something I might want to do some. It's it's just really odd, their run game when they're in that mode. Obviously, they have other modes too, but man, this idea of never blocking linebackers and just really being patient on the line of scrimmage and letting your running backs, who are very shifty, make the linebackers misfitted and throwing the ball from 1 yard from where he took the snap, and man, it is a challenge for us. We started working on it this morning, and just to get our service guys to do it the right way is a challenge. And no one stopped them. So it's obviously effective. So it's very difficult. It's hard for me to feel great sitting here on Monday that we're going to do a great job in preparing properly for it.
Coach, you mentioned CJ Daniels could be back this week. How's that gone, and how long do you expect to be without Brody from?
Both TJ and CJ are in the same protocols, starting endo tomorrow, and see how they go. Brody is probably 4 to 5 weeks from being back.
Okay.
You talk about the growth you want to see from Caden, typically with the young quarterback. Can you find that growth in film and practice, or does it have to come from the bullets are flying, game reps, and then kind of experiencing it?
I don't know, but after watching this film, he better improve it, or we're going to have to do something else, because it made me sick watching the film on seeing his progressions. Not hard ones either, from 2 to 1 back down and a check down standing there that is totally by himself, that's going to run for 15 yards, and we duck our head and run around out of the pocket, and that's got to change fast.
What does Nate give you down there inside the goal line?
A package that Caden didn't have to learn, and a bigger body that's probably more durable.
You may have been asked this after the game, I'm not sure, but the Malik Caper, bringing him in, I know the fumble happened there. Kind of take me into that, maybe that decision there to use him in that.
Yeah, well, Malik's the most physical back we have, and he's built for 4-minute offense. That was not Malik's fault. Malik did exactly what he's supposed to do and formed a good pocket, and Caden freaked out. He freaked out they brought Will Fire, and he just spaced out on 4-minute offense. We don't care what they bring, hand the ball off and run the clock and make them use their 2 timeouts. And he just spaced out on it. And again, I've got to coach it better. I said that after the game, and obviously I didn't get the message across of how our thought process should be. But that wasn't Malik's fault at all. I'd love to see him pound it in there and see what he did.
How'd the offensive line grade out?
And thought their pass pro was incredible. There's pockets there. We blew one assignment between the tight end and the tackle that caused pressure on us. But outside of that, I thought the pass pro was incredible. We didn't get a good run push and establish in the line of scrimmage for a large part of the first half. Second half, I thought we did.
With Caden's progression, he said he spent a lot of time with Jesse Stone last week, late at night working on that. Do you want to see more out of that from him this week, just to spend more time with the analysts, maybe Kent, and just trying to find ways to get better?
Yeah, well, he can't. Our analyst can't coach, so he's not. He needs to spend time with Kent and myself in the film room and in the practice room, and we're in it a lot. But he can't. He's got to obviously come up here and study some on his own would be helpful. He really needs to look at this tape. We've already watched it this morning. He needs to look at this tape and hopefully learn from it. And if there's too many things that are in the game plan for him and he doesn't feel good about it, he's got to speak up and say so. But these weren't hard now. These were not hard at all. These were some 2-to-1 check down stuff, not 2-to-1, not 4-to-1. It was 2-to-1 check down, and we're not getting it done right now, so we've got to coach it better.
Let's go to Larry Sorensen online, Wake Forest.
Hi, Coach Larry Sorensen, Wake Forest Radio. In your experience with young quarterbacks, does the actual game feel the speed make that difference for him to where maybe he does start looking a little bit further, or is it more in the field, in the film room, and knowing that that's what's expected of him?
Yeah, I think initially it's his first college football game to play significant snaps in the start, and I'm sure he was excited. And and plus, you're dealing with a guy that is athletic enough to run around when he needs to, and maybe that comes naturally to those guys, particularly when in high school he's probably faster than everybody and could miss a read and miss a check down but still run around and get 10 yards. Well, that don't happen here. The first 3 plays we should have had completions, and he decides to run around, and they're -2s or throwaways. And so I do think experience is there's no better teacher than experience. And so hopefully as we continue to get him reps and experience in live situations, the learning curve becomes easier for him. It'd be nice to have a couple more games under his belt before you have to go take on a team like Wake, but we don't. And so he's going to have to learn quickly.
And to follow that up real quickly, your thoughts on the defensive line that's going to be chasing him around a little bit?
Those 2 inside guys they're difficult. They're a problem, and the depth they have there. I think their ends are very, very solid and talented. I don't. They don't jump off the page quite like those inside guys do, but that doesn't mean they're not really, really good Power 5 players. That the whole front, I love the way they're just the defense is just on the same page. They're in the right spots, and man, they're smart, intelligent, and tackle well. And they're not going to make a mistake and blow some coverage and just give you something. And but the D-line, it starts with them for sure, and y'all got a good one there.
All right, any further questions for Coach?
We've talked about Caden, we've talked about Nate. Where does that leave JB?
Well, JB's going to be ready. He was ready last week. I mean, I'm mad at myself. I should have put JB in the 4-minute drill. And I suggested it, and then we talked, but it was still 4 minutes left, and we needed 2 first downs at least, and thought Caden might give us a better chance to to do that, which he did the next possession on some of our zone read stuff. But maybe should have put JB in there. JB's ready to go, and you know what? If we keep missing these progressions, you'll see him. I have confidence in all three of these guys. I want to keep saying that. I don't know that y'all have believed in me, but I think that all three of those guys could make plays for us should we put them in the game.